we have a competition vehicle here today. It's the SQ Ranger, also kind of known from a magazine article in Car Audio and Electronics, Mythbusters. And that Mythbuster theme and title does mean something. Means a lot of people have misunderstanding of what it takes, what exactly you got to have to compete and win a car audio competition. And that was the goal with this particular vehicle. This particular vehicle competes in the expert, the top class in both USAC and IASCA, has done very well for several years. And a lot of people don't exactly understand how we did it. And we'll go through that. We're going to show you the whole system from top to bottom, and more importantly of how we get the points. And that's my advice to everybody out there. If you're remotely interested in doing any type of competition, what you've got to do is get the rules and the score sheet and go line by line and build your vehicle for the rules and for the score sheet. And that's exactly the approach that was taken with this vehicle. Line for line, we're looking for points. You have to build points by points, every one. And that was the objective here. And that's the deal. Those, like I said, a lot of people think you got to have a lot of exotic painted fiberglass, motorized this, that to win. And that's not true. You do have to do stuff, but you have to get, bottom line at the end of the day, who's got the highest score is who wins. So that's what we're going to show you here today. Ranger here. Now what we're going to do is go through step by step from the front to the rear on the installation presentation, just as if we were at a car audio competition. We're going to do something pretty similar to that and detail the highlights of the steps and procedures to do the install. So we're going to start up front under the hood. That's normally where we start when we do the competitions in the show. First thing I just note, the engine bay, have a real nice presentation, but just like this engine bay here, very conservative, all stock. There's not a bunch of fancy anything here, but it's clean, makes a good presentation. Now what is important, what's on the score sheet, is this whole area here. We have totally reconstructed this whole side of the truck under the hood here to accommodate the car audio system. First thing you're going to start with is the front battery. Front battery's been upgraded. Is the front battery securely mounted? This is securely mounted. We've got everything documented, showing the mounting procedures. Now, this has all been fabricated. We've removed the factory battery tray. We've welded on new brackets all the way around to do our cover. What we cover here is a 1/4 inch clear plexiglass that covers all the connections of the battery. Nothing's exposed. You can't have any exposed terminals or connections on your battery. So easy access though to service with wing nuts here. The wiring, it's all about the wiring. All the grounds have been upgraded. We have a frame ground lower, and then we have an upper engine ground right here, all 1/0. All the connections, all the wiring's properly protected, properly terminated, heat shrink. Same thing with the power. The power's been upgraded all the way to the alternator and such. Most important next step is going to be your fusing. Over here we have a power distribution center that we've created. We've relocated the factory fuse box in between here. We've created this area. This area is completely non-conductive. That's important. It's made out of all acrylic plex, black plexiglass, 1/4 inch on the bottom. There again, 1/4 clear on top, accessible with the removable wing nuts. This is the first fuse. This fuse has to be within 12 inches of your battery connection. This is a high amp, 300 amp A&L fuse here. This is the second fuse that goes to the power run from the front to the rear vehicle, charging the rear auxiliary batteries in the rear. This is all tied into the battery isolator. This is the battery isolator here, has heat sinks, it's flush mounted in the plexiglass. And sure enough, anything's got a heat sink. The reason it has heat sink is heat. We went ahead, this is something very unusual you won't see. We've installed a fan over the heat sink. So to even help additional cooling, I'll go ahead and turn it on. So we got fan cooled battery isolator under the hood. Kind of a neat trick. Now, we've also got custom made green neon that illuminates the area here, highlighting what we did. Also, we got one more little fuse distribution center here that fuses, things like neon, other functions. This is all stuff that has to be documented. You have to know the amperage, position of each fuse, very important and part of the install. So this concludes pretty much the power distribution and all the work we've done. It looks clean, looks basic, but if you look what the stock system, there's a lot of work that's been done here to make this area. And we score pretty good. We don't ever have any problems. We score pretty good. Judges like the fan, like the neon, and so on. So we're going to move on to the next step. Is going to get into the wiring.